All right, let's just dive right into a really deep question. Are we here because of some cosmic coincidence, or is there something else going on? I mean, just stop and think for a second. What if your entire life, everything you've ever done, every memory you have, is just a program, a simulation running on someone else's computer? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, I know, but some really brilliant physicists and thinkers believe the odds of our reality being the one true base reality, well, they're incredibly slim. So let's explore why that might be. To really get this mystery, we first have to appreciate just how unbelievably, mind-bogglingly unlikely our own existence is. You see, the fundamental rules that govern our universe, from the way stars burn to how DNA works, they seem to be perfectly set up just for us. The big question is, how?
Okay, to give you a sense of the kind of precision we're talking about, let's try a little thought experiment. I want you to picture yourself standing in a completely dark room. In your hand, you're holding a single dart. And somewhere out there in the darkness is a dartboard the size of the entire planet Earth.
Now, you're blindfolded. You throw that one dart, and against all odds, it lands smack in the center of the bullseye. That's pretty much the level of precision we're talking about. The physical constants of our universe had to be that finely tuned just to allow for life to exist. It's so precise it almost feels rigged.
And this gets us to the real heart of the problem. Our universe is balanced on a razor's edge. It's a concept that physicists call fine-tuning. You see, all the numbers that define our reality are walking this impossibly thin tightrope, and if even one of them slipped, well, none of us would be here to even talk about it.
Our universe is basically run by these fundamental constants. Think of them as the magic numbers of reality. We didn't set these numbers. They just are. They're the fixed, unchanging rules of the entire cosmic game.
And here's the really wild part. If you change any of these numbers, even by a tiny, tiny fraction, the universe as we know it would be totally sterile and lifeless. A little more gravity, everything collapses into a black hole. A little less of that strong nuclear force, the only element that could ever form would be hydrogen. You just have a boring, dead universe full of gas.
This incredible, almost impossible precision forces us to ask a really profound question. You have to wonder, did someone or something carefully set all these dials just right? Was there a designer? Or is there another, maybe even stranger, explanation for our unbelievable cosmic luck? This leads us to our first potential solution, a truly mind-bending idea that our universe isn't the only one out there. In fact, it might just be one of an infinite number of universes.
This is what physicists call the multiverse. Imagine a vast cosmic foam just constantly bubbling. Our universe is just one tiny bubble that happened to pop into existence. And all around it, new universes are constantly appearing, each one with a totally different set of rules. Now, this isn't just some random guess. Cutting-edge ideas like string theory, in their attempt to explain everything, they spit out equations that have a staggering number of possible solutions. Each one of those solutions could represent a different universe with its own physics. We're talking about a number so big, 10 to the power of 500, that if you tried to count them one per second, the entire age of our own universe would pass, and you wouldn't have even made a dent.
So here's the thing. The multiverse explains our luck with pure statistics. If you're throwing an infinite number of darts, you're absolutely guaranteed to hit the bullseye eventually. Our universe isn't special. It's just the one that happened to win the cosmic lottery. No designer needed, just probability doing its thing.
But, this solution comes with a pretty heavy price. If the multiverse is real, it means there's no grand plan. We weren't chosen. Our existence isn't special at all. It's just a random cosmic accident with no ultimate purpose. And if that idea makes you feel a little uneasy, well, just hold on.
Because if the thought of being a cosmic accident is a bit unsettling, our next possibility is maybe even more disturbing. What if this finely tuned universe isn't a product of chance at all, but a product of code?
The simulation hypothesis, which used to be just science fiction, is now a serious academic topic. See, the philosopher Nick Bostrom laid out this argument that one of three things has to be true. 1, civilizations like ours always go extinct before they can create these super advanced simulations. 2, they get the technology but just lose interest in making them. Or 3, we are almost certainly living in a simulation right now. And considering our own rapid progress, we've already successfully simulated the brain of a fruit fly. That third option starts to look surprisingly plausible. People who lean into this idea point to some really weird features of our own reality that feel like, well, like shortcuts in a computer program. Take quantum physics. A particle doesn't really have a definite location until you look at it. This is strangely similar to how a video game saves processing power by only rendering the parts of the world the player is actually looking at.
And then you've got the universal speed limit, the speed of light. Nothing can go faster. Ever. Couldn't that just be like a computer's processor, which has a hard physical limit on how fast it can crunch numbers? Is the speed of light just the maximum clock speed of the cosmic computer that we're all living in?
And here's maybe the most compelling clue of all. Our universe appears to be pixelated. There's something called the Planck length, and it's the absolute smallest possible unit of distance. You can't get any smaller. It acts just like a pixel on your screen, the fundamental building block of a digital reality. Are we living inside a simulation that actually has a finite resolution?
Now, as fascinating as this all is, the theory doesn't really solve the original problem. It just kicks the can down the road. Because if we're in a simulation, then who created the simulators? And are they in a simulation too? You just end up in this endless loop of questions without ever getting to a final answer.
So this leads us to our final, and maybe the most elegant idea of them all. An idea where the complex, finely tuned rules of our universe don't need a designer, or a programmer, or even a cosmic lottery. I want you to think about a flock of birds for a second. When you see them, their beautiful, coordinated flight, it looks intelligently designed, right? Like there's an invisible leader calling out all the moves. But the crazy thing is, there is no leader. There's no master plan at all.
The truly astonishing thing is that each individual bird is only following 3 incredibly simple rules, just based on the birds immediately around it. That's it. And from that tiny local instruction set, a breathtakingly complex and intelligent-looking pattern just emerges.
This is a perfect illustration of a concept called emergence. It's where profound complexity just naturally arises from profound simplicity. You know, a single neuron isn't conscious, but you put billions of them together in a specific way and consciousness emerges. A single water molecule isn't wet, but get trillions of them together and you get the property of wetness. So what if the laws of our universe work the exact same way?
This suggests that the laws of physics were never designed or programmed. They emerged. They self-organized from a deeper, much simpler mathematical reality. The idea is that the universe isn't being run by math. In a very real way, the universe is math. And it's true, as we dig deeper into physics, everything seems to get simpler, hinting that all this complexity we see might spring from just 1 or 2 truly fundamental rules.
So maybe no one created the rules. They just emerged. There's no programmer, no designer, no cosmic lottery winner, just simplicity giving birth to complexity all on its own. Perhaps the real magic here is that we live in a universe that is not only complex enough for us to exist, but it's also governed by rules that are simple enough for us to actually understand. And maybe the greatest gift isn't finding the final answer, but just getting to walk down that endless corridor of questions, forever opening